Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. And I'm here again. This time my internet worked today. Thank God. Yes. As y'all see the thumbnail, breaking news. Ryan Garcia had to G-check B-Hop when speaking on his career. Letting him know that it ain't up to him how his career goes. And I'm proud of Ryan for that, but we're going to get into that and a couple of more things. But you guys know the drill. First, let's turn to Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer me to as Miss T. I'm sorry, got tongue-tied a little bit. Y'all know what I do at the top of my hour. We do a water check, where we explain the importance of drinking water. We feel like 2023 should be the end of everybody becoming dehydrated. Dehydration leads to a lot of problems in life later in life. And it's kind of like that thing when you say to young people, don't read in the dark because your eyes gonna suffer later in life. And they can't visualize that. They can't get an understanding of that. And they do it anyway. And then when they get older, they live with small regrets, but regrets none the doubts. I'm saying, damn, I wish I would have listened to them and didn't read in the dark all those times. Well, drinking water is like that. If you don't start the habit now, you're going to pay for it later. So we advocate that you try to drink at least 100 ounces of water a day. Now, the average adult, even a 16-year-old, can drink a gallon of water. That's only 128 ounces. But if you're not a real active person, I would suggest that you don't drink that much water. Now, the formula for drinking water is half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 300 pounds, you should be drinking at least 150 ounces of water. But if not, we know a lot of people ain't into water like that. So we say drink 2 times a day. First thing in the morning, before them toes hit the ground and get off into your morning routine, drink you some water. Think of your body as an engine and the water is the lube. The second time is at night before you go to bed. Not actually get in the bed and boom, fall asleep. But how you get out the shower, put your PJs on, jump in the bed, you might read an article, might look at a TV program, but drink your water then. We only talking 8 ounces of water when we saying, drink your water. And from there, you can just add, go to 3 times a day, 4 times a day. Get acclimated. The importance of drinking water, especially at night, is for all the work that's being done that you can't feel or tell. but it's getting done nonetheless. Even the American Heart Association agrees that drinking water before bed is a good thing. And the average person, believe it or not, burns between 900 to 1,000 calories at night in a deep sleep. Operative word meaning deep sleep, because it's all that work that's being done that we were talking about. Rebooting, recharging, revamping, redirecting, recreating, and I can go on and on. That's a lot of work. That's why you burn as much calories. And if you just start there and work your way up, before you know it, you'll be reaching your goal of 100 ounces of water a day. And don't worry if you don't quite make the 100 ounces. If you get into the 90s, 96 ounces, 89 ounces, close enough. This is when close counts. So drink up your water. Don't be one of these people that be dehydrated and they be wondering why they have medical issues later on in life. So drink your water, 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 water. And if you watch me, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And leave a statement, a question, whatever. I get back with you. I talk with you. And another place you can leave questions, statements, and concerns is boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. I come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless something happens. Unless I'm getting busy. I have a lot on my plate, getting ready for a wedding, ready for a big move out of the state. So, sometimes I get real busy. And for some reason, YouTube don't want to do me a solid. They don't count all my views, and I know they haven't counted all my subscribers. So I can't sit there and argue with them. The best I can do is write them. But I do have my own monetization, and that is Cash App. And that's Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's Boxing Fans Talk TV. You can donate at will, even when we're not on live. And believe me, I appreciate all proceeds and everything go back into the channel. And I appreciate everything. But y'all see the thumbnail. Breaking news. At the peak, speaking on his career, letting him know you don't run nothing over here, bruh. You don't run nothing over here. But first, let me give a shout out to Al Money. He said, Miss T, water check. Indeed, Al Money, keep drinking that water. I know you see a difference because you own it. Slab Life ATX, aka Big Texas, is in the building. What's popping? He said, yo, what's popping, family? What's popping to you? So let's get into it. I was like, oh Lord, Trouble in Paradise again with Ryan Garcia at Golden Boy. They always have problems. I am not sure why they haven't severed their relationship by now. Only because Ryan seems unhappy at times over there. Or him and Oscar keep bumping heads. But I ain't never gonna be one of those people that get mad or try to tell somebody where they should go, where they should work with, where they should work for, what have you. That is all the individual's decision. And if you're being honest, I don't know what would make people mad at where you work at. I can see parents being mad at their kids for where they work. Maybe it took them too far away from them. Maybe it's a dangerous job or something like that. That's something parents do. But for the rest of us, to the average person, why do I care or be mad at who you choose to work with or do business with? That's your choice. That's a part of growing up and being grown. So let me put that out there. We have been clamoring, begging, if in fact, for fighters to take control over their own careers. To stop hiding behind the promoters. Stop trying to act like something can't be done when it can be done. That's how we've been feeling. And we've been, giving that advice freely, whether people listening or not, to become one with your career, to take charge. And I guess Ryan Garcia is one of them people who've been listening, because he had a lot to say in regards to what B-Hop had to say. See, what had happened was B-Hop has proclaimed that he don't know, or he will decide if Ryan should fight again after his match with Oscar Duarte that's going down this weekend coming up on the Zone. Of course, this made young Ryan upset, and I don't blame him. Mark Nash is in the building. Was popping, king. This made him upset. I would be too. What you mean? You don't know if I'm gonna get some fights based on my performance? Hell, in the last 3 or 4 years, I'm gonna say at least 3 years, Ryan Garcia, you might as well call him the cash cow at Golden Boy. Who else has Golden Boy put forward that has made a lot of money fighting? Who? It's not like Oscar is saying Ryan losing him money. Oscar don't like how he moving. And let me tell you, as a legendary fighter, that's who Oscar De La Hoya is. His words carry weight. We understand what he was talking about. We understand his frustration, because Ryan was moving like something he couldn't understand. In a boxer, you want to fight the best, right? That's supposed to be the mantra of a boxer. I want to fight the best. I want to gain championships. I want to be unified. I want to be undisputed. You want to gain accolades. You want to prove to the world that you are the best. And that's how Oscar fought. You can't say Oscar didn't get into no wars. He didn't have a dark cloud, a Daffy Duck or Donald Duck hanging over him. You know, Oscar didn't experience that because Oscar tried to fight the best. He took on fighters. During his generations, that's what people did. You know what I'm saying? And this new generation, partly it's Mayweather's fault, but it's not Mayweather's fault. Mayweather made it inviting to be him. He really made it, and it's not his fault, to where fighters want to emulate and be like him and get the things that he got. But the problem I always see with that scenario is that no one ever do live up to how Mayweather was. They don't move like him. They don't take fights like he did. In order for you to emulate this man's career, you have to do everything that this man did. When Mayweather was young, like early 20s, guess what? He fought all the time. You can dare say that most people in his generation did the same thing. It wasn't nothing spectacular that Mayweather made up, but he understood when he was trying to make his name, he had to be seen often. So he took fights. Now, I always say that, in my opinion, and I can't say I'm right or wrong, but I felt like Top Rank was throwing Mayweather to the wolves. Now, two things could have happened. He could win or he could lose. But Mayweather always won. So was it bad that Top Rank threw him to the wolves and put him in those tough fights? Or was it good? For Mayweather in the long run, it turned out to be good, because not only did he get notoriety, he got opportunities and he was seen more. Mayweather didn't just wake up and all of a sudden commanded 2 fights a year. He had to earn that privilege to do 2 fights a year. And what it seems to be in today's generation or era, a lot of these young fighters come in thinking that that's how it should be. And sometimes it's their fault, especially if they're not taking charge of their career. But we do know too that some of the empty suits behind the scenes, the promoters, the sanctioning bodies, the executives, got a lot to do with that too, because they're not making the fights that the public want to see. They're not pushing fights if the fighter is avoided. Like, you can, if I'm a boxer, why would I get into this career if I'm going to be avoiding fights? And sometimes these promotional companies and other people allow them to do that because for some reason it's the end all, the be all that a fighter keeps his O. And we know that that's just not realistic in any career. You're not going to always win. You may lose. But shout out to the fighter who don't. Andre Ward, Mayweather, hell, even Julio Cesar Chavez for a long time. Had he stopped before he took the L, guess what? That would have been a lifetime or eternity record that probably would never get broken. Not based on at the pace that fighters go today. So B-Hop proclaiming that he don't know, or he'll decide after Ryan's fight this weekend if he fight again. How do you say that? How do you say that to a man who made Golden Boy more money than they have in the last 3 years or so? Of course, B-Hop saying this made Ryan Garcia mad or upset, and as it should. I guess Ryan was saying the nerve of it all, where B-Hop think he can make that decision over my career. I gotta say, shout out to Ryan Garcia, because that's what we want to hear. That's the kind of boxer we want to see you as. He calling B-Hop out on spots, checking his ass, G-checking his ass. Dude, how you even gonna gather the spit in your mouth to say some shit like that to me? Then me and my last fight with Tank Davis, garnish over $1 million or 1 million pay-per-view buys. We broke the bank. We did better than Canelo in his last couple of fights. We did better than your cash cow Earl Spence. We did better than your PBC. I'm talking PBC cash cows. Deontay Wilder, the big names in boxing. We, Golden Boy, me to be exact. That's what Ryan's saying. Did better than all these premier fighters that's on the roster today. Me and Tank did that. Nobody else did that. We broke records. So the nerve that B-Hop got in saying some shit like that, like I need to prove myself to you. Nigga, I just proved myself to you. There shouldn't be no doubt when talking about me. You shouldn't have nothing to say. And I say this all the time. Just, some people will say, oh, that fight made that money because of Tank. Oh, that fight made that money because of Ryan and his popularity in social media. And this is what I say. It takes two to tango. Tank can brag about those numbers as well as Ryan. They had the best of both worlds. Ryan Garcia was the social media darling, and Tank could sell out wherever he goes. Put them two together, you got peanut butter and jelly. That's what was going on. So Ryan feel like, hey, he answered all questions. He set the record straight. He proved himself. Golden Boy should be beaten to the drum of him. Doing what he wants. Maybe even trying to kiss his ass. Because now that he did that, and this goes for Tank Davis too. Who's to say they can't do it again? A lot of people in boxing gonna be looking at them two like they're the cash cow. Like that's the fight to make. Hell, you even had Crawford, Bud himself, say, if Tank want to come up to 147, I'll definitely stay at 147 to make that fight. Crawford have said what he wanted going forward. I want the big names. I want the big fights for the money. It is about the money. And he said that Tank is going to bring that, or he believes that Tank will bring that. You got other fighters calling out Ryan. Why? They want to pay. So it's a no-brainer for Ryan. This ain't no test fight for me. Yes, somebody had to lose between me and Tank. I lost. Okay, oh well. But we won. We won the war. I lost the battle. Me and Tank put on for PBC and Golden Boy. So my credentials is set. Who else is doing what I'm doing? That's how Ryan feels. Ryan made it clear with no doubt and no hesitation in his voice that B-Hop, although he is an executive at Golden Boy, he don't have no power over my career. That's Ryan. And I'm proud of him. As much as I put him down, or I ain't gonna say put him down, but critique him, I can praise him too when he do right. And I think this was right. Garcia proclaims he is the boss over his career and how it continues. That's facts. Facts. And these promoters and empty suits need to get that understanding going forward. And all these fighters need to have that understanding going forward. It should be to the point that an empty suit will seem silly or feel foolish or ashamed to even try to pull something like this over a fighter, or even to talk over a fighter like they can shelve them or they can let them fight, but it's up to them. No, it should be up to the fighter. It's his career after all. And B-Hop, being a legendary fighter, should know this. And he should understand this. I don't know what possessed him to even say that. You know what I'm saying? So Garcia had to proclaim his status. Yo, I run this. I run me. I choose. You don't choose. Stay over there and be an executive. Get the investments needed to make the fights. Put on the fights. But as far as how I move, who I fight, and how often I fight, that's up to me. And you can't do nothing but be proud of him. Plus, he got credentials on his side. He claims pretty much he it at Golden Boy. Who else is making money at Golden Boy but him? These are facts. Ryan considers this talk disrespectful. I understand on their part. He considers to talk like that about him or to him is disrespectful. You're not recognizing all that I've been through. The worst thing you can do to a person is to watch them go through a whole lot and then turn around and belittle what they done. Or belittle like how much work they put in. Don't nobody want to go through that. Don't nobody want to feel that. And Ryan, I guess, is a whole person out here, and maybe he's taking his boxing seriously. He don't think that he's going to lose to Duarte. He thinks he's going to do well. You know, and when he start believing and talking like that of himself, all he do is gain fans, more fans, and he make others believe. It's just like I say with Crawford. If Crawford believed that he could beat Canelo, I believe it too. I got to take his word for it, because up until now, everything he said came true. Everything he touched turned to gold. That's how Ryan feels. Active activist is in the building. What's poppin', King? So this time I'm Team Ryan on this one all the way. B-Hop, you was fired for saying what you said, and you totally did disrespect him. You don't tell nobody that made the most money in the past 3 years for your company broke over 1 million pay-per-view buys, like he gotta prove himself, or hang the threat out that you can shelve him, because that's pretty much what B Hop saying. He gonna put him on the shelf, you know. Now no one knows how many fights he got left, talking Ryan, at Golden Boy, but he may be shopping for a new promoter, and that's facts. He may have to. And I feel like this: if you're not happy there, I won't be the person that suggested Ryan leave Golden Boy. But if you're not happy there and they can't respect you for what you do bring to the table and the things that you do, you got to seek life elsewhere. That's a no-brainer. But that is all up to you. I ain't going to be one of these content creators that be talking about, you need to leave Golden Boy now, ASAP. You know, we can all suggest anything. You know, I could suggest and say, hey, you know, it'd probably be more beneficial if you leave. But okay, but whatever is making him stay, that's up to him. He's happy with it. You know, short of somebody committing high crimes and misdemeanors over there, that's the only way I can, you know, say with a straight face to any fighter or about any fighter, you need to leave, shawty. You need to get from over there. You know what I'm saying? But if there ain't no high crimes and misdemeanors going down over there to the point where it's bleeding over into their fighter's career, hey, it's up to the fighter to me. Do what it do. Make it do what it do. So if they choose to shelve him for standing up or talking back, Ryan, you already know what to do. But you was right for checking the legendary, the OG, B Hop. Which is crazy because, you know, this whole thing is crazy because this is what I see. Ryan Garcia just had the fight with Tank, right? He lost. Let me get some water. He lost his fight. But together, they won the war. I'm sure Tank looked back and said, damn, I'm glad I fought Ryan. Who else was Tank gonna fight that was gonna break over 1 million pay-per-view buys? Name it. Who? Lomachenko? No. Haney? No. Shakur Stevens? No. Who? Cambosos? No. I'm trying to think of all the 135 pounders. Nobody. But Ryan. Only Ryan and Tank could have did what they did. But like I said, the whole thing crazy to me because Ryan proclaimed, if y'all see him put out, that he cleared over 30 million for that fight. That's what he said. You know, Andrew Charles is in the building. What's poppin', King? Salute Miss C. General Big Fish. He said, Boss T, what's good? What's good with you, General? Ryan, he put out that he cleared over 30 million. So, you know, if he got 30 million, you know Tank got it. Which explains why Tank is so dormant these days. I can't prove it. I can't say it's a fact, but I can speculate. And that's what I'm doing. Tank ain't looking like he trying to bust a grape to fight nobody and no one. All this time, he's sitting, chilling, ain't doing nothing. But you know, you don't have to have that pressure on you when you ain't got a real belt. Whatever that Reggie belt that Tank got, don't nobody be pressed for that shit. Tank ain't pressed to get championship belts because he on his TBE. He not on his Pretty Boy or Money May, but he's on this TBE. I'm gonna get the money because in the end, the money counts. But we just better hope that Tank know what to do with his money and he don't bleed his money dry like a lot of athletes, famous athletes before him, whether you talking football, hockey, basketball, or boxing. You know, there's a lot of pro athletes that came before Tank that made more than what he just made and wind up broke as a bitch. Because you got all these hanger-ons, you invest stupidly, you're spending money on unnecessary shit. You know, hopefully Tank has grown out of having that materialistic life. And right now, that's all good. But Tank is also a sucker, as most pro athletes are, for the fame of it all. You know, that conceitness part of most athletes, which is a necessary trait to have. If you're going to be a pro athlete, you got to have that bravado, that part. How you feed that monster. After a while, the money ain't going to be enough. Either it ain't going to be enough or he going to bleed dry. You can't, think that you just made 30 million. Like, to me, I make 30 million. Oh, I'm going to be rich. My kids going to be rich. Their kids going to be rich. Their kids, depending on if nobody in the descendant line dropped the ball. But you know what I'm trying to say. But Tank can drop all this himself. Do Tank make foolish decisions in his life? Yes, he do. We can't say he don't. So a person like Tank, I say this about Earl. I say this about Deontay Wilder. I say this about any fighter. You want to strike that metal as much as you can. I say this about Jermell Charlo. You never know. You might have all this money and ride off into the sunset, but that notoriety and that bravado is gonna bring you back. Cause you want people to look at you in a certain light. When you go to court, they say they always favor rich people. Not everybody, but famous people do get a lot of privileges in life. And Tank, if your last fight is Ryan Garcia, that novelty gonna wear off in a few. So you should be looking for your next fight, but he not. But look at Ryan. Ryan is looking for his next fight. He got his next fight this weekend. I gotta eat my words of the things that I said about Ryan Garcia in the beginning, because he moving like a boss. He moving. Even if he ain't moving like a boss, he's moving. Nobody's saying that his next opponent is a slouch or an easy win. That ain't how they describing this man. But Ryan took the fight nonetheless. But I would say the craziest part about all of this is Ryan got enough money to pull a Crawford. Say he don't. He got enough money to become a free agent and do a BLK number or Amazon Prime or whatever he want to do on his own. He don't necessarily need a promoter. That way he can keep mostly all the monies that come in. And as long as he's chasing dreams of becoming a champion, unified, and going to the Super Bowl of boxing, which is undisputed, he got a fan in me. He got a fan in me. He can. There always is a such thing as second chances. Maybe something happened where he buckled down. He done had enough pussy in the world. Yes, I said that. Because when these young guys get in there and they get that little fame and a little notoriety, it's about all the pussy they can bank. Ryan had his fair share, and I'm sure he ain't done. But he got 2 kids, he got 2 babies by 2 different women. So do Tank. And what they consider the creme de la creme, that's who their baby mamas are. Ryan liked that part of the deal, but that shit too, again, without the fame and the notoriety, won't last long. So you need both to feed that monster of bravado and conceitness and all that most of these boxers have. So I will suggest, if Ryan feel he need to leave his promoter, that he should pull a Crawford. But if he don't do that, I'm not mad at that neither, because it's his decision to do what he wants. Now, unlike most fighters who never won shit really, because that's the position that Ryan was in before he came into the fight with Tank, and he leaving the same way. Ryan has never won championships. Never, ever, ever. He's never been a pay-per-view cash cow. I think that was his first pay-per-view as well. But he came out of there gaining something. His name means something. He's considered a cash cow. A lot of people gonna win. He can get a lot of fights. Anybody he asks to fight, they were like, Ryan Garcia, hell yeah, even if he easy to them. So when these boxers be like, oh no, you gotta get your weight up, you ain't on my level. That's bullshit. Because if you notice, if they get a chance to fight Ryan, whether they think Ryan on his level or not, they taking that fight because they know it's gonna come opportunities, gonna come. They know getting known and seen is gonna come, notoriety, or maybe possibly getting famous. They thinking about the steps after the Ryan fight. You know, after fighting Ryan, they're gonna gain this and gain that, and their career is gonna soar. And that's what they looking at. But like I said, nevertheless, if he's shopping for a new promoter, he got two choices. He either can go with Top Rank, or he could go with Matchroom. Matchroom Zone, I guess they together. That's all he got. Because PBC doesn't have a network. They don't have a network. It would be fruitless for him to even entertain the idea of trying to go to PBC. PBC failed. And I know it's a lot of people that hate when I say that PBC failed, but they did. They failed in boxing. As of today, November 28th, PBC has failed in boxing. It was good while it lasted in the beginning, but as of today, they failed. But people, it's hard to hear that fact because they can't look at what exactly I'm saying. As of today, they have failed. If they wind up getting a network in the near future, or they get Amazon Prime, then they not only failed, but they brought themselves back. And sometimes that's better to step in it. Like they say, it don't matter as much as how you fall, it's how you get back up. And PBC definitely have the opportunity and the know-how to pick themselves back up. But if you see them doing the same old same, then they ain't learned their lesson. If they got a second opportunity, it was based on the things that they did do right. When PBC put on a good card, I be saying it. Like this past weekend, a lot of y'all say that card wasn't worth pay-per-view, but I think it was. I think it was a good pay-per-view card. And everybody showed out for the most part and did good. Although I missed the first fight, I was mad as hell. I couldn't get my internet to work. You know what I'm saying? The problem I seem to have all the time. But like I said, Ryan got two choices if he leaves, Top Rank or Matchroom. Top Rank, he gonna get a lot of opportunities because Bob gonna put him in the ring. And he'll be on ESPN, so he'll get a lot of looks, you know, from potential fans. Matchroom failed also. Remember when they first came here? Matchroom in the Zone, when they first came here, they failed too. They had to tuck tail and leave and go back to UK. But guess what? It's not how you fall, it's how you get back up. They got back up. But the fact still remains, what their goals was for the US, they failed. They failed. And that charging people for pay-per-view, that's something new that the Zone does. A lot of people don't like it. I thought that was going to be a decision where they knocked themselves off again. But that didn't quite happen like that. But it still remains to be seen how that's going to play out going in the future. Now, the zone for Ryan Garcia seems like a likely choice, but the fights and opportunities are more with Top Rank. Because think about it. If I ask the question right now, how many 135 pounders or 140 pounders do the zone have? But if you ask that about Top Rank, you're going to get some answers. Sorry, drinking water. That's why, to me, Top Rank is the better choice. But whatever young Ryan, the young man, grown ass man, decides, we just have to accept it and work with it and be okay with it. The fight for his next fight is on the zone this weekend at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is not pay-per-view, I don't think. I haven't heard that it was pay-per-view. It may be. I might have spoke too soon. If it's pay-per-view, I'm not pressed to buy it because I'll just wait till they put it up there for free. But you know, Ryan is that gonna set him back because he ain't doing a pay-per-view? Nah, it's not. Because he working with the zone. His fight can still be in the States, but it's considered like a UK fight. You know what I'm saying? Because the zone is the carrier. Now Ryan feels Golden Boy don't believe in him. He also feel that, and he has expressed that feeling for years now, and he doesn't like it. Like, why would you want to be with a group or entity that don't believe in you? You know, people say that in relationships. Like, I've known a lot of dudes who would leave their woman because she don't believe in him, or he feels she don't believe in him. And they wrongly, in my opinion, they wrongly done it. It's not, most of the time, it's not because she don't believe in you. She's just looking at reality. But to the women who stay silent and just act like they go along with everything he say, like he's speaking the gospel, that's the girl they stay with. Because even when men are trying to be great, they don't want to be with somebody that's don't believe in them. Now, women are different. In case y'all men didn't know, we are different. When we with somebody, we want you to believe in us. We want you to whatever. But the harder you make it for us, and the harder you give us strife, that's what make, I don't know, we wind up persevering and doing well. And then when it's all good with the guy, that's when we do bad. It's almost like we need the tumultuous times or the torture for us to soar and do great. You know what I'm saying? Women different. They're not going to leave you because you don't believe in them, because hell, a lot of relationships that women have, that's how it is in the first place. Even outside of work or whatever thing you're trying to do, just being in the relationship, a lot of guys don't believe in their women, and you can tell by what they do. But women put blinders on, you know, like them horses wear them little things on the side of their eyes, and it's due to the love that they have for the guy, the determination for it to work, the embarrassment or shame of it all, to lose a dude or whatever women reasons are, which is when they get older, they look back and be like, man, I was a dumbass hooker. You know what I'm saying? For believing and thinking that way and shit. But it's different. But it's always been the case with men that they don't stay too long around people who don't believe in them. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? Type amen if you understand me. Holler if you hear me. And for y'all joining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you've never hit it before. If you've hit it before, don't touch it. So like I said, this weekend we're going to see how he do. And his opponent, the way they describe him, he ain't no slouch. It's not supposed to be like no easy touch-up or easy win for young Ryan. This is supposed to be challenging for him too. And we gonna see what he do. But Ryan said, come hell or high water, he don't care if y'all find Waldo. When that fight is over, he's still gonna make fights in the future, and he gonna move like he want to. He don't give a care who the fuck B-Hop, what position he got or what kind of power B-Hop think he got. Remember when Beyonce said she followed the voice you think you gave to her? I love that part of the song. Because the whole time during the song, she said, I follow the voice you think you gave to me. Or no, I follow the voice you gave to me. And then in the end, she was like, I follow the voice you think you gave to me. Boy, that shit said a lot. It was some one-liners. I'm feeling Ryan in that Beehive moment. Or that Beyonce moment. It's like, yo, I don't know who y'all think y'all doing certain shit too, but I'm Ryan Garcia. You know, respect my name. Put some respect on it. Some respect. You talking about me like you about to shelve me based on what I do. Nigga, I done proved to you. I done got my credentials. Nigga, did you make 1 million pay-per-view? Because I don't remember B-Hop name being on the record book. So I guess Ryan said, till you do what the fuck I do, you better have several seats and kick rocks. The nerve of it all. But he also said, but you like that money. You talking that shit, but you like that money I brought in. Who else doing that for you at Golden Boy? And I guess it's here talk that says if Progress don't destroy Haney and Haney somehow wins, because I got Progress winning that fight. I could be wrong. But if Haney wins, then maybe him and Ryan can match it up. That would make money because people will want to come see Haney lose. They will want to see him win. And they want to see what Ryan can do because, you know, as long as there's been an Earl and Terrence controversy for the past 5 years, there been other controversies for the past 5 years or 4 years with other fighters too. They just wasn't as big as Earl's and Bud's controversy. So we gonna see. We really gonna see. Now I got some more news, but I'm gonna drop the link if y'all want to get in and tell me what y'all think. But I thought that was kind of nerve, man of steel on B-Hop part to say some shit like that to Ryan. And y'all know I've critiqued Ryan for many years. Well, as long as I've been on here, and even before I've been on here. So yeah, I had it right the first time many years. And I just didn't thought he had it in him. Maybe being down there in Texas with Derek James, you know, and the Get Fresh crew, maybe that, you know, spark some kind of something in him that made him be like, look, listen here, partner. It's about principality. I done made you this damn money and you gonna talk to me like that? Don't you ever talk to me like that again. Who I'm imitating? Who I'm imitating? Y'all write it up. I ain't gonna hold you too long. I'm imitating the late, great Ike Turner. Remember when he hit Tina in the car? And that's when she said, come on, nigga. I'm paraphrasing. Let's get it in. Happy? Don't you ever talk to me. And then go tell me, look, I said me. See, I take it personal. Then go tell Tina, wake me up for sound check. Nigga, I'd have turned into Farrah Fawcett on your ass so fast. Some of y'all get that, some of y'all don't. Y'all better go look at Farrah Fawcett movies. Don't do that to me and think you gonna sleep off in La La Land. Shit. You might be in La La Land permanently. Hitting her like that or hitting somebody like that. But that's what he just did to B-Hop. Don't you ever talk about me like that again. principality to this. But anywho, let me move on. So we know we got the Regis Prograis fight coming up with Devin Haney. Have y'all seen the face-off? That was pretty cool. Devin got a little spunk in him too. I guess when y'all men get about 24, 25, that's when that stank get on you. When you really start progressing in your manhood or something. They say that's when y'all get y'all man strength. I guess that's what comes with getting the man strength. Because Devin Haney, I've never seen him talk like that. and Regis kept saying, okay. I'm going to tell you like now, Regis better not go in that fight modeling. That's what I always call him, a model. Because you know how them dudes be extra duty. I just made up a name. Extra dude, like extra duty. Sticking their chest out, their shoulders raised and spreading their arms and striking pose like they voguing and shit. Like this is if y'all had a playbook on how to carry yourself or be like a man, Regis will give you plenty of content. And to me, it's little boy shit. It's little boy shit all day. That's what I don't like about Regis. I don't, because he be modeling. And I remember when he first started fighting, when I first got on to Regis and his career, if you ain't belonging there, he got your ass out. He beat your ass up. And we can model and play Vogue after the fight, but not during the fight, not always leading up to the fight. And see, to me, I look at that as a flaw because after all, they have to sell the product. The product is them. All that shit makes me just be like, I don't want to watch him. Just like I like Pitbull Cruz now. You know why I like him? Because that nigga would stay on your ass like white on rice, and he would come at you and come at you and come at you and be swinging and all that. He don't care if he get hit. He throwing them hands. Now, if Pitbull start changing, that's why y'all like Benavidez. Benavidez, he gonna break you down before you break him down. And he gonna have them leverage on the play. He gonna try to destroy you. Like you see that in the fight. That's why I'm a fan of this new guy. He ain't new, but new to me, Subriel Matias. He the same way. I don't like when fighters be overly strategic and it don't match the situation in their life. Like I could take Mayweather being overly strategic. One, he was old. He was older. It's hard calling a 30-something-year-old old. But he was older in regards to boxing. He probably passed his prime compared to his contemporaries. So for him, an older fighter, just like a Terrence Crawford, if Terrence were to start all of a sudden being more strategic and just, getting the points and just doing like TBE, I would be like, oh, dog, you might not like it, but I'll understand it. But I ain't never gonna understand that when you 20-something years old, or 23, or 24, or 25. I ain't gonna understand that shit. Because you got youth on your side. I'm not gonna understand that you take the 2 fights a year like you TDE and you 22 years old, 23. You should be trying to be on somebody's card every month. If you don't get a concussion or get cut in the fight, you should be trying to fight every fucking month for the first couple of years of your career. Though the greats did that. That's who you should be emulating. And Regis, he's older. That's the only reason I tolerate him. Because Regis is, what he say, 34? So, he voguing and shit, but he ain't have a long enough career where he was throwing them hands that we knew about him. Throwing them hands and all this stuff, and he ain't get a lot of fights. But stop all that vogue. Learn when to vogue. Call Madonna up and ask her. She wrote the song about it. Like the here it go. But the funny thing about the face-off that I'm noticing and I'm correlating it to news today. Like T.I.'s son, Haney doesn't like no one, and I mean no one, saying he had a silver spoon in his upbringing. He don't like that shit. If you want to know how to get to Haney, say that shit. But you might unleash a monster. He might be so mad at you that he gonna beat the stuffing out of you. He might. But that's the chance you take. If it's all about getting in the fighter's head and trying to throw them off their game, say that to Haney. Talk about how he a silver spoon. He Ricky Schroeder up in this bitch. Alfonso Rivera up in this bitch. That's who Haney is. And he running around putting on all his fat gold chains and putting diamonds in his teeth and shit like Tank Davis. Nigga, it don't match. It's just like Tank said, he's soft. He see through you, boo, in my Biggie Smalls voice. And Haney shouldn't even go there. You know, it just looks silly on him. You cannot sell that shit. You know, maybe you can fool a white boy or two. Nothing against white people. But y'all is not as versed in the black community as a black person is. And some people can fool y'all, but he ain't fooling nobody black. Sorry to have to bring it to race, but I'm just talking about our community. No harm and disrespect to nobody race when I say that. Haney, you are not fooling the black people at all. I don't know who you trying to fool. I don't even think you fooling most white people. But there may be a Mexican or a white person or somebody of another culture or race that might be fooled. But the black community, we ain't fooled. Because here lately, Haney be claiming, he be claiming that he hard and that he from the streets. Don't that remind you of Kane Harris, T.I.'s son? T.I. had to ask that boy, you ever woke up with a roach on your face? Like, T.I., that's indicative of being in the hood. I don't even think I woke up with a roach on my face. I was in the hood, but I'm sure it's about 1 degree separation of roaches from everybody in the hood. You know, you can have an immaculate house. You know, in the hood, you got people that have immaculate houses and trash houses. When you rich, you got people that keep a trashy house and can have an immaculate house. That's up to the individual. But if you living in the hood, that means your apartment's attached to somebody else. 9 times out of 10, they keeping the house a little trashy. You know, they letting the kids have freedom reign in the kitchen, and you come in behind them with syrup stains on the fucking counter, the floor sticky as shit. That's what happens when you let motherfucking kids be in your kitchen. You know, when you rich, they probably gotta cook. That shit probably don't go on. So if your neighbor house is fucked up and roachified, then guess what? You gonna have the same problem. Yeah, I just made up a word. But I be saying, what is the fascination of growing up poor or from the streets? What is that? Every last one of us who grew up like that, we be trying our best to get up out of there. I am proud and can say that my children don't know what it is to be poor like I was. You know, my child, to be exact. You know, don't know, you know, what it is to be poor. Because then that tells me I did my job. And since I was a single mama doing it by myself, I know I can say I, operative word being I, did my job. She don't know what it is. I don't even think she could function. Being who she is and how she is today, put her in the situation I was in, no, she wouldn't make it. But if she grew up in it, she has what it takes within her to make it. Because I'm going to tell you, I raised a strong black woman. Yes, I did. But that's, like I said, I don't know the fascination. You got T.I. and Tiny's son proclaiming it to the point that he dissing and fighting his family in the public eye. Haney with the jewelry and the teeth. And nothing about him is street. Nothing about him is street. And all it say to me is that T.I. and Tiny and Bill and Haney's mom did their job. That would say to me, and that's what they supposed to have. I feel Bill on that one. But when he out here fussing with everybody else, because they be bringing that shit up, because they know that they touch a nerve when they do. But he need to be explaining that shit to his sons, because his son is displaying animosity towards that. In any case, if you want to get under Haney's skin, you start there. Tell him how soft he is. Tell him he was behind the gates. Tell him he don't stand on business. Not then, anyway. That was Haney saying, I stand on business. I was waiting for him to say that. But all in all, this is the reason why Regis feels he's going to be victorious. The question is, did Regis make Devin mad enough that he would show out on their fight, at their fight? Would he just show up and show out? Would he go ham on Regis? Because it definitely strikes a nerve in Haney. So much so, I heard Haney got arrested or was proud to get arrested. I think he caught a gun charge that was in his car, and he think he was doing something. So did Tiny's son. It's almost the same. Different people, different situations, but it's like the same. One thing you can say about both, they got heart. Tiny's son got heart. T.I. little boy, he got heart. But sometimes you need more than heart. First of all, you 55 pounds soaking wet. Come on, Tiny son. And dudes say this. I'm not saying I say this, because I ain't never been in a male prison. But guys who've been to jail will know better than me. They say, you don't want to go there, little red dude, because your light skinness and all that hair and them red lips is a recipe for disaster. And your daddy and your mama is not going to be able to stop it. Haney, because you got the silver spoon. Time you get in there with a person who can box just as good as you, but got power, we gonna see what you made of. This is that fight that I've been clamoring for when it comes to Haney. Like, hey, let me see what you made of. Because, like, JoJo ain't got no one power knockout. I'm trying to think of anybody Haney fought that got that kind of power. They don't. And just the sure will of outworking the person, that's what Haney got on his side. If you hit me, but you ain't really hurting me, and you make it impossible for me to hit you, because we do claim that Haney is an excellent boxer. He's before his time with that shit. But if he can do that to a person 10 rounds, 11, you will wear a person out. If you constantly scoring and making it difficult for them to hit you, you will wear a person out. But what if you fight somebody who can do the same thing as you? Maybe not on your level, but just the same. And when they do connect, they can knock you the fuck out. What's going to happen? Linares caught Haney once. And that was later in the rounds. Had him doing the stinking leg all the way back to the corner to Bill. But Linares didn't catch him throughout the fight. That's the difference with Regis. Regis can catch you in the first round all the way up to the 12th round. And as we saw this past weekend, who was that couldn't continue? That dude Ergashaw that was fighting Matias. I refuse to believe that this dude didn't come in there conditioned. He's used to what he's used to. They even say he's big overseas where he come from. He got 3 million followers. I know Matias ain't probably got 3 million followers, but Matias beat the stuffing out of his legs. He beat him to the point that dude had no more energy. He zapped all his power. Dude was pushing his punches before he quit. And ain't no shame in quitting. If you ain't got the energy, you go out there with somebody like Matias, you gonna get hurt. That might be the last thing you do. So I agree with the stoppage. But that's what we needed to see with some of these other fighters. When Tank fought what's his name? Pitbull Cruz, that was my answer right there. When he fought even Roland Romero, as much as we like to talk about Roland Romero, we know he got power. And Tank caught some of that. That was my answer right there. So if you ask me, can Tank face adversity? My answer is yes. Can Tank take a punch? My answer is yes. He didn't been in there with a couple of people that can do that. Ryan, it's alluded to, but not really said, that he had a rib injury. They thought they was slick trying to say that, like they thought they was off the mic in the corner after the fight. When Joe Guzman said to Ryan, "Was your ribs again? It was your ribs again?" Yeah, it was my ribs. But Ryan didn't get on the mic and say none of that shit. He didn't make no excuses. Good for him. But the excuse is out there. Because again, your ass is on the mic. You gotta think, until you in the locker room and the cameras are cut off and shit, your ass is on the mic. So he put the excuse. It was very clever. Little motherfucker smart. He's smart. But we gonna see what Devin do. Devin might feel, and I see why Devin feels how he feels, that he gonna wear Regis out, because Regis models in the ring. He too much voguing instead of just going ham. And I ain't even on him for his last fight, which was horrible, but it is what it is. It looked like what it looked like, but I say this, whether it was that last fight that he fought, I was feeling this way even before that last fight. But we shall see, because that fight is coming up soon. Anywho, on to the next. Now, there is facts and there is speculation. This one right here, I give a shout out to my personal friends who can't accept the fact that PBC is what it is, and PBC has befell what they have befell or befall, or whatever the word is. PBC is very, very, very close, according to writers, according to the boxing community, to a deal with Amazon Prime. Now, like I said, closeness don't count all the time. Closeness, the old saying is closeness count in horseshoes only. But closeness count in some other things too. You know what I'm saying? But in this instance, I got to use the old adage, closeness counts in horseshoes. They very, very close to a deal with Amazon Prime. Is not the same as having a deal with Amazon Prime. Let me repeat that for the people in the back, the Earl-sexuals, the haters, or the PBC advocates. And PBC got a lot of fans because of Earl. That's why I threw him in there. Not throwing shade on Earl himself. Very, very close to having a deal is not the same as having a deal. That is the major difference. And these are the facts. They're close to having a deal. They don't have a deal. Make no mistakes, at this moment, currently, PBC is a failure at boxing business, unless the deal goes through with Prime. So let me repeat that. At this moment, currently, PBC has failed in boxing. And a lot of people can't accept that or don't want to accept that. But it's a fact. They have. They got a roster of over 200 people or so. They can't get everybody fights. Not even their top people. Not even their premier people. They can barely get them fights. Some of them ain't fight in a year at all. Some of them get maybe one fight a year. PBC went through that thing with their first round of investors, where they had to take out and all that to court and all that. So I'm saying all this to say the fighters at PBC better prepare themselves now or make moves now. Okay? Again, whatever those fighters decide, if you like it, I love it. But I'm suggesting that you make a move now, because you really don't know how this shit gonna play out or work. PBC, the only reason they ain't probably contact ESPN, or maybe they did, or Matchroom, or the Zone or something, is because I would think it's pride. What if Terrence Crawford's and Errol Spence rematches on ESPN? I'ma clown the fuck out of Errol Spence. That's what if. I'ma clown the fuck out of him. And I'ma have to replay that audio when he said, I'll never. The nerve of y'all. I'm paraphrasing. I'll never fight on PBC. Oh, yes, the fuck you will if that's all you got. Right now, today, and before today, PBC is a sinking ship. If you don't have a network, how you gonna showcase your fights or your fighters? How they gonna build up their reputation, their status, their class? How, if we can't see them? So very close is not having. Very close just means close. You think. You know how many business deals people were very close? I was very close to getting a master's degree, but I can't stand before you and say I have one. I was close though. It was on the horizon. It was a goal I set. It was a goal I activated. Shit happens. It didn't work out. But also, I can say this in the same breath, but it doesn't mean they can't be saved or come back or replenished or revamped, recreated. All the re's. It don't mean that they can't have that going on either. They got the know-how, they got the important people in place, they got their little structure in place. They can make a comeback. Remember, it's not how you fall, it's how you get up. See how I can be saying something factual, which some people would consider negative, but I can say something positive too. PBC has the opportunity and the know-how to come back even stronger. But there's some things they can't come back doing. They can't come back doing. I'm gonna name a couple of them because I don't think Amazon Prime needs PBC. PBC needs Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is not gonna put up with no mismatches or boring ass fights. They're not gonna put up with it. You're not gonna hurt their brand by putting some fugazi shit on their network. Again, Amazon Prime don't need PBC. PBC needs them. How does that translate for the fans? Great. That's why I say they can come back stronger if their feet is held to the fire. Because in the setup with Showtime capitulated to PBC. Steven Espinoza, he capitulated to Al Heyman all the time. Sometimes he had the balls to stand up to Al and do it his way, but that wasn't all the time. 90% Steven Espinoza did what Al Heyman wanted. Amazon Prime ain't gonna do that. Don't bring that bullshit over here and call it a pay-per-view. No, you're not doing that. That marinating shit, you might as well forget that shit. You gonna marinate in a way that makes sense. Maybe a year, maybe 6 months. Ain't gonna be no 5-year marinating. Amazon Prime ain't gonna put up with that shit. Because when they get into their bag and they start doing the marination, that everything else falls off. That's where the mismatches come. That's where the boring fights come. Because they so busy marinating. Amazon Prime ain't gonna let them do that. Again, Amazon Prime don't need PBC. PBC needs them. They won't be getting no budgets like networks used to giving these promotional companies. Showtime used to give PBC a budget. That ain't happening no more. Again, Amazon Prime don't need PBC. PBC needs them. Why would they give them a budget for free fights? You can say Amazon Prime got a channel where they show this, that, and the other. But hell, what did they say about the boxing community? That is all of maybe 400,000 people or 300 to 400,000 people that faithfully tune in, buy, go to boxing matches. That's what they say. And I guarantee you, out of that 300 to 400,000, probably 90% of them got Amazon Prime. They got them already. This is why I can say that with a straight face. Amazon Prime got all of the boxing community already. What's the chances of a person who can afford to go to a fight in person or buy a pay-per-view don't have Amazon Prime? What's the chances of that? Damn near everybody got Amazon Prime. So where the need for PBC gonna come from? To the point that they gotta give a budget. I'm just using common sense. I'm not in the boardroom. I'm not making a deal. And I don't have nothing to do with it. But I'm just using common sense. Where is the need on Amazon Prime's part? Because all of the boxing community, 9 times out of 10, has Amazon Prime. They order from Amazon, or they got the channel as a subscription. So I mean, where's the need? So that means the money to secure the fight or site fees and pay the fighters is all coming out of PBC. Now you gotta ask yourself, how long that train gonna run? Do you really think Al Heyman is in cahoots with spending his own money? Or do he want investors? Let's look at his last outings. The Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight came with their own investors. Remember, PBC ain't had no money to pay Terrence Crawford. But they had all that money to pay Canelo. And even though they shutting down by the end of the year and we don't see no fight by the end of the year with Canelo, you still got to pay him. I guarantee you that money that they promised Canelo, they had to put it in escrow where it can't be touched. That's Canelo money. And Canelo don't care if you find Waldo. He gonna collect that money and pass go. So, what money? PBC ain't trying to pay nobody nowhere near with Canelo. He not even trying to pay Canelo a fifth. They not trying to pay I'm sorry, not Canelo. They not trying to pay fighters on their roster a fifth of what Canelo makes. If they paying Canelo $50 million a fight, they not even paying a fifth of that. Maybe not even a 10th. Maybe a 32nd. 1/32. Maybe that's what they trying to pay to their fighters. Hell, Errol Spence was one of their biggest fighters, and PBC have never paid him over $2 million. So what, we supposed to wake up and all of a sudden PBC now into paying all their fighters big bucks with no budget out their money? PBC needs Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime don't need PBC. And if that deal don't go through, how is PBC going to showcase their fighters? And then if that deal don't go through and those fighters are on the shelf, they got to think about their career. At that point, Al Heyman should let them out the contract. But will he? Has he done that before? These are the questions these fighters got to think about going forward. And even if they make a deal with Amazon Prime, for the things that I just said that Amazon Prime ain't gonna put up with, I can see them putting PBC on probation to see if PBC gonna go down that same losing path or make a change for the better. If they make a change for the better, Amazon Prime might see this as a lucrative deal with PBC. They might be like, all right, yeah, we can rock with them. You know, every now and then we'll do a pay-per-view, and that's how we do. We'll have a come up. Every now and then we can get new subscribers because we'll have to do our version of a pay-per-view. But if PBC still mismatching, marinating, and all that good stuff, no. If they shelving their fighters and shit, talking about they don't want to cross the street, no. None of that's going to work for Amazon Prime. Again, Amazon Prime don't need PBC. PBC needs them. And that's what we got to do when we thinking about where PBC going forward. To all of y'all who don't like that inconvenient fact, you have to get out your feelings. Remember what y'all say? It's business, T. It's business. Well, it's business, y'all. It's business. PBC failed. So did DAZN. And DAZN came back. But don't knock the failure off their record. Just like if you lose, it doesn't change your record. You lost. You can lose a fight and come back and win 30. Hey, it's all to the good. Because people going to be like, what have you done for me lately? But that loss ain't never going nowhere. You know, unless you Lomachenko, when they try to act like he ain't lose to Salido, acting like this man had a winning record when actually he had a loss. You know? Or if it's true, which I don't know if it's true, as Regis says, sources say, Devin Haney had a loss in Mexico. And they hid it. Well, you can't hide shit like that in the States and most other places. But Mexico, you probably could hide some loss. I don't know if it's true or not. But according to Regis Progress, sources say. So we're going to see how all this boxing play out going forward. PBC has done a good job with the cards that they had this year, namely Earl Spencer, Terrence Crawford. But, you know, hey, you can have 1,000 attaboys in that one fuck up. And in PBC case, they have 1,000 fuck ups in that one attaboy. But anyway, I'm TDT. That's all I got for y'all today. I'm glad that y'all joined me. If you're here for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like, share button every time you come on. And leave your comment, statement, or concerns in the replay. Or you can, hit me up at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. And don't be afraid to hit the Boxing Fans Talk TV cash out. All that shit helps, y'all. But, like I said, thank y'all for joining me and listening to a sister. Turn that music off. And the words of the great Pamela James. Peace!